Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the Abundance Game. Yay, we're here. Welcome to day 2 of the Abundance Game. Feel free to chime in. Let me know that you're here, that you're receiving this information, and that we are connected. That we are connected, and that I am not just talking to myself, right? That's fun. All right, come on in, guys. Come on in, make yourselves comfortable. Grab your notebooks. You'll never see me without a journal or a day timer. I still like those old school tools. Fun stuff. Come on in. Let me know you're here. Good morning, Juliet. Yay, you're back. Yes. All right. And a lot of you did a lot of your homework on the Facebook page. So there's a lot of information there. Good stuff. Good stuff. I have a really good feeling that a lot of you are already pretty well versed in the art of manifesting. But there's always room for improvement, right? Always, always. Good morning, Dana. All right. Come on in. Make yourselves comfortable. Grab your favorite beverage, your notebook, your open hearts, your beautiful minds, and let's get this day going. All right. So yesterday, I asked you guys to come up with a morning ritual that you can do to put yourself in the mood of manifesting, to raise your vibration and plug into the art of manifesting like first thing. Was anybody able to do that, or do you have a practice or a process that you would like to share? If so, please do. What I went ahead and did was I copied and pasted the prayer that my spiritual center used. It's been 20 years. It's been a long time. I copied and pasted that prayer or meditative thought, whatever you prefer to call it, in the Facebook group, in our Enchanted Empath Facebook group, so that you can use it. And it was the practice that we did was we said that first thing in the morning every morning. And I copied and pasted it as it was written for that particular program. So you are free to take it and edit it. I would edit out the word God and replace it with Great Spirit or Source or Universe so that it fits my personality now. God used to be just fine for me back in the day, but I've kind of grown out of that term because it just feels too personified, like the old man in the sky, and it just doesn't suit my belief system anymore. So I like to have a more open version of it, but this is personal, and everybody is free to choose whatever they want to call it or believe or not believe. It's completely up to you and your choice, right? Alrighty, so today for day 2, I think I'll just leave my glasses on. We are going to dive into the topic of the art and science of manifesting. So we're going to go backward a little bit so that we can really make sure that we have a strong foundation of what we're doing, right? So hopefully more people will come in. And as you're coming in, if you have a manifestation share, type it in the box. I would love to see. I know that I saw in the Facebook page, Magnet already had a whole laundry list of things going on in her life or his life. I'm not sure, so correct me. But in their life, where their neighbors are blessing them with fruit and garden veggies, somebody paid for their meal. I mean, good stuff, right? And personally, for me, I've been having a stressful situation with my family at my home, and um, my best friend gifted me with a hotel room for 3 days so I can go swim and relax and get away. So I'm not there now. I'm at my home now because the hotel has really bad internet. But that's okay because I don't necessarily want to work there. I want to play there. And then I can come here and do my live streams with you guys and then go back to the hotel and play. It's a good situation. So that was a big manifestation because I was just thinking, wow, I really want to get out of this space and clear it up, before I move on to the next phase, so to speak. So that was a gift. Dana says, when I start my day with prayer and meditation, it is like everything falls into place for the day. And when I don't do it, my day is a lot more challenging. Yeah, Dana, I experience the same thing. I think it's such an important thing. We get into these habits of brushing our teeth, washing our bodies, but uh, we really benefit from the spiritual practice of prayer and meditation, just to set our intention, to set the day, to set our energy, to just make sure we're good, before we just stumble into the day. And then when we don't pray and meditate and prepare ourselves, it does feel like we're stumbling into the day. We're like a toddler just learning how to walk, and we're like clumsy and goofy and falling all over the place. So if if we take a minute, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to set ourselves, it just makes the whole day flow so much more gracefully. I totally agree. All right. So Eileen is here. Hi. I'm so glad, and it's afternoon where she is. So, all right. That's really cool. Yeah, let me know where you guys are coming in from. Um, Read through the prayer this morning. This is Eileen. Apologies, having trouble losing your sound when I type. Oh, okay. Yeah, technology. Hey, it's fun stuff. We couldn't do this without it, that's for sure. I think it's really amazing. Not being facetious. Okay, so any wins, any manifestations that you would like to share that you're already noticing in your life? Tomorrow's training is going to be, it actually, I was set for day 4, but I moved it up to day 3 because it's such a pivotal game changer, especially for the empaths. So I can't wait to get to tomorrow. I know tomorrow, when you start utilizing the things that I'm going to share with you, you're just gonna, you're going to be flooded. Would talk about it today, but we need to make sure that we have good foundation set up first. Juliet says, I saved your prayer and also resurrected one I used a long time ago that I really liked. I also found some items that represent prosperity and abundance to place where I can see them. Yes, yes, those are such beautiful practices. I love doing that, having the symbols and the signs all over the house, the sticky notes, even affirmations and prayers. Gosh, when I first started my spiritual journey, that was it. I had stickies everywhere. That was when Louise Hay was my original teacher, one of my original teachers. I love Louise, and she was all about the affirmations and even just writing on your mirror. So yeah, at the beginning of my spiritual journey, it was very obvious if you walked into my house. I suppose it's still kind of obvious that my spiritual journey is important to me. Um, but I've relaxed a little bit because to me now it's more of a mental, psychic, and emotional thing. But I still do love the rituals, and I still love the physical manifestations. Fun stuff. All right. So again, I just encourage you to have that morning ritual to set yourself up for the day, and specifically for these 5 days, setting yourself up to receive and to manifest that whatever your intention is, and in addition to the unexpected income. Kristen, good morning. She says, I manifested a job interview for a mental health clinician at Community Human Services. I'm not clear it's exactly the role I'm looking for due to lots of commuting, but I'm glad to be manifesting interviews. Awesome. Congratulations. See, it's just as soon as we say yes, as soon as we agree to manifest and we buy into it, we know it, we feel it, we want it, we allow it, all the doors open. It's just, we can't even shut them off if we tried. Yeah, we could if we tried, but we don't want to try. We want to allow them, right? So good on you. I love it. Continue to share your manifestations and your victories and the big stuff, the small stuff. It's all good. It's all victories in my book, right? Okay. Oh, and that reminds me too. I'm a big fan of Abraham Hicks, and she channels Abraham, and the topic is always the law of attraction. And they talk about size doesn't matter when manifesting. Size doesn't matter. The universe doesn't care about size. It's not measuring. So, for example, she talks about you can manifest a thimble or a castle. The universe doesn't care. It's equal opportunity, right? So if we know that, then I say, well, let's manifest big then. Let's just go for the whatever our hearts desire. What's the big pull for us? And those pulls, we talked a little bit about that yesterday. That's your higher self. That's your vortex calling you in, saying that I have something here for you. And I call that, being pulled by my hair. It's like my hair is being pulled by the stars again. One of my favorite quotes by Anise Nin. It's just so perfect. So when our hair is being pulled by the stars, that's when we need to pay attention and know that we're not just desiring and making things up and wanting because we're needy. It's because we're being called half the time or more than half the time. So I heed those calls. Okay, so let's dive into today's topic, the art and science of manifesting. This is like manifesting 101 with a little twist, of course, for the empaths, because we do things a little bit differently. And I own that. So first of all, let's talk about what is manifesting. Manifesting is just the act of bringing a thought, an idea, a desire, or a dream into physical form, right? And Mike Dooley from The Secret, he's one of my favorite teachers as well. He says, thoughts become things. That's a mantra. That's a quotable. That's something that I keep in my back pocket. Thoughts do become things. And so we have time to take those thoughts and clean them up, polish them up, get more specific with them, or just delete them altogether. But we do have this buffer of time around our thoughts manifesting into form. And of course, that time can be beneficial for us, and that time can be challenging for a lot of people as well. The people who are impatient and digging up the seed that they just planted and going, where is it? And blocking their manifestation. So, double-edged sword, right? So our journey here is to just do better, learn what we can, and just develop these practices that help us do this better. Simple. Okay, so Dana chimed in and said, I watched the recorded video from yesterday and I had a revelation about my childhood thoughts. I realized that I believe I can manifest money, but I have thoughts that it will be stolen or taken away from me by someone else. I'm sure that thought, see more, has interfered with me manifesting money. Well, Dana, I can guarantee it has interfered because our thoughts are so powerful. They block. They block the thing that we're desiring. That's why it's so important to clean them up and to lift those rules that we have imposed upon ourselves. So one question in the Facebook page was, how do we lift those rules? So I wanted to talk about that more specifically today, because there are rules. We agreed to them somewhere along the line, whether we made them up or not. We probably just picked them up from somebody else, and we have the opportunity and the choice always to clean up our thoughts, to decide which ones to keep, which ones to discard. And so this is good. So Dana, I'm assuming you decided to heal that thought, and to maybe have a little chat with your inner child and tell her that you got this, and you're good, and money is cool, and let's have some and nobody's gonna steal it. It's good. I'm a grown up. I'll protect it. We're good. I have conversations with my younger self uh, quite often. I let her know that it's okay. You know, big Charlene is here, and I'm taking care of business. So, and Eileen says, "Woohoo! Hotels with pools." Yes, hotels with pools and restaurants and bars. It's just fun stuff. 17 money affirmations are now my lock screen wallpaper. Yay! That's on the page. Read when I see Read when I see them. Realized my current state of abundance when I mapped out a financial grid for the next month. Awesome, Eileen. You guys are really doing a lot of work here. This is good. I love that you're taking this seriously and really leveraging your own power. This is the beauty of manifesting. You know, we are manifesting 24/7. We are manifesting machines. Many people, however, are clueless about that. And so they're manifesting a reality that maybe they are not very fond of, not understanding their power. And so that to me is probably the biggest crime or sin I can think of. Not understanding and knowing your own power and your co creative ability to manifest on a dime every day, all the time, just by shifting from your unconscious or subconscious mind to your conscious mind more so. More so. We're never going to be, 100% in our conscious place. It's a lot. It's efforting, right? So that subconscious there is here for a good reason. Like when we're driving, it's perfect. It's like I don't even know how I got where I got. I get my subconscious was at the wheel there, and just doing those things that we don't necessarily have the bandwidth to be uber conscious about. But I will be uber conscious about manifesting because I can, and because it's fun, and because I really love designing my own life and having control over what comes in, and what I can do and how I can serve and money I can make and all that fun stuff. Relationships, not everything is within our control, like I said yesterday, but a majority of it is. The majority of it is. So that's what I really put my energy and focus on, and really wish the whole world had this information so that everybody could manifest better and not just take what is given to them, or being in that place of everything is a whim. So keep your comments coming. This is good stuff. Okay, so we talked about what manifesting is, just bringing something into physical form. And if I can talk science for a minute, the basis of all of this is that everything is energy. And when I was doing my psychic readings and my intuitive readings all these years, that's what I'm doing. I'm tapping into your energy. Energy is palpable. Energy is real. And everybody is energy. Your thoughts, your feelings, your bodies, it's all energy. And so people who are tuned into that notion can, if they choose to, they can go inside and they can literally read the energy. And feel it and sense it. So that's what I have done for a living for many, many years. Still do it. It's impossible not to. And I know that all of you being empaths, you do it as well. And hopefully, another little side effect perk that you'll get from this training is that you'll be more aware of the fact that you do it all the time, that you are sizing energetically people up and down all day long. Do I trust that? Is that true? Is that a lie? Oh, move away from that person. Oh, this person feels good. I'll talk to that one, but oh, this energy in this room is funky. I'm leaving. So you're doing this all the time. So when we understand that everything is energy, we can get a read on a room, people, places, things, but we also can, I want to say, manipulate, but not in the negative manipulation, but we can manipulate our own energy. We can transform our own energy. We can raise it. We can choose to raise our vibration, our energy. The empaths are the healers of the planet. And we could use that energy as a source of healing for ourselves and others. So with regard to the law of attraction, if we know that everything is energy, and the law of attraction says that energy attracts like energy, and the whole manifestation process is a result of what we are emitting or emoting, because we are these human transmitters, and especially the empaths. That's why I know that empaths are the most natural manifestors. We are transmitting emotionally all the time. We can't not, you know. We are just constantly broadcasting. We're sending and receiving. A lot of us empaths are more on the receptive side, and we're receiving energy more than we are transmitting. We need to balance that out and make it a 50-50, and learn how to transmit it to give it as well as receive it. Because sometimes when we receive it, we're receiving too much, and it overloads us and it overwhelms us, right? And we take it in and take it on, for those of us who are untrained. So we become trained in this, and we understand that we are taking more in than we want. And so then we learn how to push it out. We learn how to push out that energy. And as we do that, we are relieving ourselves of that unwanted energy or heavy energy or just the overwhelm, right? And so with the manifestation, we can clean up our energy. We can dial it. Think of it Etch a Sketch, you know? We can dial it. We can move it around. We can do whatever we want to become aligned with the things that we are wanting to manifest into our lives. We have so much power. It is unbelievable. And I don't even think I understand very much of it. But I just sense it. I feel it. I know it. What was that Socrates saying, that know thyself and you will know the gods? I really do believe that we are powerful beyond measure, and we're just at the tip of the iceberg with this information and knowledge, and putting it to the test and really using it. So this stuff just really flips my switch. I'm sure you can tell. All right, so Dana says, when the negative thought is taught to you by your parents, what is the quickest way to rid those thoughts? When I had nice things, I was told to hide them when some of my jealous relatives would come over, because they would take them or break them. Well, hopefully those jealous relatives aren't coming around. I don't even know if that part was true. But what you can do, and this is something that I share with all of my coaching clients, is that whatever you're feeling that resistance about or a lack of, do the opposite. So I would say, put all your fun stuff out. Put all your expensive stuff out. Put it to the test. Play. And know that it's just stuff, right? And that you can get more stuff. And if that stuff belongs to you, it will stay. I would play with that. I would just really put it to the test. And I would have the thought processes, write those things down that your parents told you maybe, and ask yourself, just give it the test. Is this true? Is this really true? And so, oh, Dana says, it is true, and I don't allow them to come over as an adult. Okay, then having boundaries. Having the boundaries, putting it to the test, not inviting that kind of stuff. But did you take that information that applies to those specific people and apply it to everyone? Or is it just for them specifically? I mean, do you have that thought process that your stuff isn't safe, period? So with that, that's going to take some work to unravel that and know that, you are in control of your environment for the most part, and you can have those boundaries and have a new mantra saying that I am safe, I am guarded, I am directed, I'm protected. It sounds like some root chakra stuff that you could possibly work on. So let's talk about that more inside the group. I would love to help you resolve that and heal that. So let's send some loving energy over to Dana and her root chakra and her family stuff, and feeling safe and feeling protected. Yeah, we're all good. I am safe and I am protected. All right. Good question. Thank you. So we talked about the humans, us being these live receivers, broadcasting energy all the time, and our desires are included in that. And those desires that are born out of contrast, it's all good. I hear a lot of people say, well, if I say that I want something, that just means that I don't have it. And I'm like, well, duh, you don't have it. It's okay. So we acknowledge what we don't have and we say, gee, I would like that. And so then, it's part of the process. We have to acknowledge all parts of it and not be avoidant or in denial about things, and to be so careful about how we word things, because honestly, the universe isn't really responding to the verbiage necessarily, or the correct, being politically correct in our desire. It's responding to our heart. It knows what we want, and so it's responding to the energy that we're putting out there. So, for example, say you have a relationship that is negative, maybe even a marriage. Let's put it up there in the hot list. So you're in a marriage that you're not happy with, and you definitely want a change. That change is just a natural byproduct, and so if you said, well, I really want change in my relationship, that means I don't have it. Well, yeah, you don't have it. So what kind of change would you like? All of those questions give us an opportunity to specify what it is that we want, think about what we want, dream about what we want, and really be with the things that we would like to change, if possible. So, and everything is possible, So having those thoughts and desires, some people feel guilty about having them, and I'm just all pish posh on that. Of course, we are it's the way we are wired. We are always desiring, always wanting improvements, always wanting better. And I think that that's the way we are designed. We are evolutionary beings, always on the upswing, right? When we know better, we do better. When we attract something negative or unwanted into our lives, we go back to the drawing board and we reassess, and we draw out a more clear version of what we want. But we didn't know we wanted that until we got something else. So see how these contrasts really do serve us. They really serve us. They just help us clarify what it is that we're wanting. So this manifestation process is a lot of going back and forth, back to the drawing board. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like I have manifested beautiful relationships in my life, right? With really wonderful people. And oops, I forgot to clarify that I like monogamy, right? Oops. So now I have to go put that one in my list. That's what I prefer. And then it's like, okay, back to the drawing board. Let's continue on the manifestation. So we don't know what we like necessarily until we get what we don't like, and that's okay. That's perfectly appropriate. Now, we don't just dwell in the thing that we don't like and bitch and complain about it all day long. We take a snapshot of it and say, not for me. This is what I want instead. In fact, that's what our brain automatically does. And we can just go along with that ride and then clarify it and dream it and bring it in. Oh, you're welcome, Dana. Yeah. All right. So I would like for you guys to start thinking about the law of attraction like you think about gravity. So hardly any of us understand exactly what gravity is, but we understand that it is working 24/7. We understand that if we stand too close to the ledge, we could fall down. We understand that if we're downhill skiing, speed will happen and we could fall down. That's why I cross country ski. And we understand the effects of gravity. We understand we can fly a kite. We understand that we can walk upright because gravity is holding us in place. We understand the the dangers of gravity, and so we avoid those, right? And we understand the pleasures of gravity, and so we use those. Like we can go fly in an airplane, for example. So if we took the laws of the universe, and specifically the law of attraction, and we put it in the same category and treated it the same way, I think that would be super beneficial to all of us, because the fact of the matter is you are manifesting 24/7. You always are. And so let's manifest better. I like manifestation projects. So I'd like to have one big manifestation that I'm working on at a time, just so I can really pump it up and clarify it. Like revamping my business or moving or traveling. So I'll take project manifestations. But in the meantime, we're still manifesting behind the scenes 24/7. Big things, little things, all of it. What we're having for dinner, who we're bumping into at the grocery store, all kinds, everything. So, but we don't want to get bogged down in the details of every single manifestation, right? That would be cumbersome and it wouldn't be fun. So I do enjoy the project manifestations like what we're doing here, and putting all of our effort on the big thing that we are working toward and putting to the test. So start thinking of the law of attraction like gravity. It's always on, always going. And I hear a lot of people say law of attraction doesn't work. I'm like, oh yes it does. Oh yes it does. What are you thinking? What are you attracting? What are you bringing in, right? So it is just good practice to know that it's always working, it's always there. And so that puts the responsibility on us to keep our vibration at a healthy level so that we are attracting well. So that we are just always attracting on a daily basis good things, right? So having just a general healthy vibe, you're going to attract a general healthy experience, daily experience, right? And so like starting your day off right, mapping it, setting it is what I like to call it, by prayer, meditation, having an affirmation, I think is a really good start for the day. And then just continuing with that, so that we are manifesting every every day, and then we're also manifesting something big and fun. Okay, so let's talk about, you guys have any questions about any of that? Okay, so let's talk about the art of manifesting and how fun that part is. Most of us have seen The Secret. We know the law of attraction, and they talk about the art of manifesting in it quite a bit. Simple steps: ask, believe, and receive. I do like to keep things simple, but they're complicated inside of each one, right? So the ask is, we're doing that all the time, and so then we can have the conscious asks and the quieter asks, and then we can always go back to the drawing board, back and forth. So this is a game of flexibility and adaptation. So we never need to get so stuck on something, because when we're manifesting, and this is just like how when I do my energy readings, I go to this white space in my imagination, in my mind's eye, in my third eye, and I call it the drawing board. I'm back to the drawing board. And so I can start drawing and visualizing the things that I would like to include in my next manifestation. Or I can put, it's one of my fun things to do when I was doing readings, I would put a person up there or two people up there and watch and see how they interact. I mean, you can do everything with this. My point is that it's flexible. And then you can just erase the whiteboard and you can start over. So not getting stuck in the details and so rigid in the situations, Oh, and yes, relieving yourself of the hows. The hows are none of our business, for the most part. The hows are the domain of the universe. That is a quote from Mike Dooley. I just know that when we have the right question, when we have the question, the answers always come, and then the hows are revealed in the answers, in the guidance that comes. And so then we don't have to effort on, oh my gosh, how's that going to happen? How am I going to do that? I don't know. Maybe I should Google that, do some research. That's when I just say, oh, relax. Relax and go meditate or go walk or go wash the dishes or go do your laundry. And it's in those quiet times that you're not focused on the how that the messages come, the signs come, and you'll know exactly what to do if there is an action to be taken. You'll know. It will be shown to you. And so this also has to do with having that faith, the belief. That's the step number 2, believing and knowing that your requests are being answered. I don't even want to try to figure out the hows, because guess what? My brain is limited. I'm a human in there, right? My spirit is unlimited, and my spirit is connected to source. I'm swimming in source energy here, as are you. And the information and intelligence of that system is a zillion times sharper, faster, more brilliant than my little brain, right? So then I let my brain off the hook. I don't want to figure that out, and I'll just give it to the universe and say, you tell me the best way. You tell me the how. I am going to be open and receptive and grateful and patient, and I'll be waiting for the direction. I'll be waiting for the guidance and the answer. So this is just a different way of seeing things and a different way of being in the world. It really does let you off the hook, to a lot of things, to where you are still responsible for your vibration, you're responsible for receiving, and you still have work to do in your realm, but the bigger stuff is handled and taken care of for us, which is way cool. Um, so then, okay, so step one, you ask. Step two, you believe, you know, you act as if, imagine, pretend, and just let it go. And then step three is the receiving mode. And we are talking about the receptivity, the receiving mode on tomorrow. Okay, because the receiving mode is huge. The giving and receiving mode, the law of reciprocity. We're going to talk about that in depth tomorrow. So receiving, it's not just about saying I'm open and receptive. It's, listening for the clues, the next steps, following the impulses, making, and how we receive is just so important, that we are receptive. And one of the ways that we can do that, opening ourselves up to being more receptive, is to keep our vibrations high, so that way we can tune in to the higher energies and receive that, instead of empaths, I'm talking to you, instead of tuning down into the human sphere and receiving all the energy from the people around us. Big difference. So a lot of empaths are so tuned in to the people around us and our environments and the what is and the busyness of the day and the world and the social media and the marketing and the this and the that. It's over freaking whelming to the empath. So quick fix for us, we crank up our energy, we dial up our vibe so that we're tuned in to the higher frequency, the better stuff, the clean, clear truth of information that people channel, like Esther Hicks, we receive that too. We all have the ability to channel or to hear that information when we tune in, right? And so by meditating, by prayer, by mindfulness, we can tune into that. And of course, we're walking the planet. We have our daily walk. So we're going to be doing both. We're going to notice the energies of people, and we can decide what to do with that. Send it back to give it back to the sender, or we can solve it, we can heal it, we can let it go over our heads, and then we can tune into the solution or the higher truth, the higher stuff. So when I'm telling you, empath, that you are powerful, I'm not kidding. That we are just so amazingly wired, and when we understand this, then we can pick and choose and decide where we want to focus our energy, where we want to tune things up, or just go ahead and dumb down and tune it down and go watch Netflix. It's fine. We have freedom of choice. We can do whatever we want. But when we're manifesting on a project, a big project, it behooves us to turn it up, to crank it up. So how the heck do you raise your vibration? How the heck do you raise your energy levels so that you're getting the cleaner stuff? It's almost like you're breaking through the atmosphere. I can see the planet, and I can see the stuff that's close to the planet, all the pollution, all the noise, and then we get out further and further, it's cleaner and clearer and light and easy. Okay, so you guys have any, I'm going to give you some ideas about how to raise the vibe. We're going to put all kinds of information on how to raise your vibe in the Facebook group. So, but let me know, chime in and let me know how you raise your vibration. And if you have any questions about the things that I just said, because I know that we don't necessarily have conversations like this. So this might be new information for you. So let me know what you're thinking, how you're doing, and how you specifically raise your vibration. Um, we already talked about a couple of different ways to raise the vibe, and that is through prayer, meditation, visualization. Visualization is probably my favorite. I love to imagine, and I call that imagitation. So it's imagined meditation. So in my meditation, I'm visualizing, I'm imagining, uh, and that's something that is completely free, and we can all do it. And it's fun because we're not attached to anything. We can erase it. So Kristen says, I spent 5 hours attending to my plants outside on Sunday, and it honestly restored my vibration so much. Yes, plants. You can't see them because all my plants are in front of me. There's one right there, but it's off camera. But in my workspace, yes, I have my plants. Nature, Kristen, nature is one of the top things that people do, even unconsciously. They're not even aware of the fact that they're raising their vibration, but it just feels good to be out in nature, to go for a hike, to go for a walk, to be at the beach. We all are wired to be attracted to that because it is soothing to our soul, right? So we all have so much more in common than we have different. We all respond to nature. Nature is clean, pure. It's, I call it God in motion, really. So there's being in nature, there's being surrounded by plants, doing your gardening, being in your zone. One of my high vibration activities is work. I love my work. This stuff juices me. It raises my vibration. It puts me in that higher place every single time. So, yeah, I just love my work. What else? I love to, oh, there's so many different things we can do to raise our vibe. Music is a universal vibe raiser. You can turn on some good tunes, your favorite. You know that you can switch your mood and your vibration by picking your songs. Now, sometimes, even like when we're a little depressed or whatever, I was with this family situation that's happening. I'm so much tremendously better, but I was like wiped out for about a month. And I just needed to be sad and to feel my feelings. And one of my go-tos for sad is listening to Pink Floyd. So it's like, oh, I got to process this out. I got to go through this so that I can start raising my vibe, because my vibe was not well. And and it happens, and we know it, so I'm not saying that life has to be roses and lollipops and unicorns 24/7. It's not. We have real life shit that hurts. And when we understand this energy, we know that it's temporary. We know that it's here to for some purpose. That's always my go-to. I always know that there's lessons in this for me, but right now it's appropriate for me to be sad and to feel my feelings and to process through what I'm doing and cry and grieve and do whatever I need to do. I know that it's not going to last forever. So I always have that in the back of my head, but I am kind to myself and I give myself enough time to process through, knowing that every day I can do something to raise my vibe a little bit, whatever's appropriate, and then knowing that when I'm out of that bigger funk, I can crank it. I can crank it. But it's not appropriate to crank it when you're sad or when you're affected by something specific, that you need to be with. So drinking water is another one. Yes, drinking lots and lots of water, getting sleep, just being really good to yourself, getting your nails done. All of these things are here, to serve us, and that we can do to raise our vibe. Really good stuff. So let's all, for our homework, you know what? I would love that if everybody chimed in the Facebook group a vibe raising activity that they love to share with everybody else. So for the next 4 days, we are going to really crank up our vibes. We're going to manifest well, and we're putting all of this to the test. Um, so, yes, let's share ideas and keep that going. Alrighty. So, what time is it? We have about 10-15 more minutes. I want to talk about some things that don't serve us, things that we could not do when we're in the manifestation process. And these are kind of like mistakes that I see people making. One, when you keep on asking or begging, like begging, that's so not cool. Um, we don't have to come from a place of begging or asking over and over and over. The universe is intelligent. It knows what we want. We can just say it once or twice, put it out there, write it, and then let it go. You know, we can still think about it, but we never need to keep asking or begging, because what that shows us is that we're not really trusting the process. So when we have an expectation for something and we put it out there, like extra income for this week, and um, then we just know it. We walk around with that knowing, and then we are activating our RAS, and then we're picking it up and receiving it everywhere, right? So no asking or begging. Number 2 is keeping score, or the micromanaging. Now, for this exercise, though, I asked you to keep score because this is a project. We are doing a 5-day project, and we're keeping score. We're looking, we're noticing things, we're noting, right? But when we're in the process of manifesting that project, that whole micromanaging is ego-based, and it's stepping on the toes of the universe, right? We don't want to step on their toes. We want to let the universe do its thing and shower us with its gifts and benefits, right? And being attached to the who's or the how's. So when we ask something and we put it out there, I see this one quite a bit, especially with relationships, that a client will say, I want this relationship. I want a marriage, and it's got to be that guy. I want to marry that person, or I want, and I just, if I have to say, let's pull back and let's ask for the marriage and why you want the marriage and what that's going to mean and what's included. But let's leave the who's and the how's to the universe, right? I mean, unless you're already planning on marriage and all that good stuff, and it feels like it's in that trajectory. But typically what happens is I have, women or people in relationships that are sideways, they're not happening, and then they want to magically turn this person around and bring them in as their mate. And I'm just like, that's another reason I don't do my readings very much anymore. That is not helping. It's a disservice, right? So we detach from the who's, we detach from the how's, and we let the universe surprise us and delight us with their unlimited, intelligent answers, right? And then, of course, when we're also manifesting, it's important for us to make it believable for our own brain. So if we're asking, say, I want to manifest $1 million in 24 hours, well, that's not believable in my soul, in my heart, in my brain. So I'm not going to put that out there because I've already sabotaged myself, right? I already don't believe it's going to happen. So let's make these goals and these manifestations believable to us. So everybody is going to have a different idea of what is believable to them. So one size does not fit all. This is very personal work, right? All right. So, any questions or comments with regards to vibration, keeping it high, anything that we have talked about? Anybody have any questions or want me to go over anything before we move on? Okay, I'm not seeing anything, so hopefully you guys are all good. Maybe give me a thumbs up. So, what I want to do next is really play with. Okay, so you have two homework things. The first one is vibe raisers. Woohoo! Vibe raisers. And then the next one is going to be your personal mantra or your personal affirmation for the rest of this abundance game. One of my earlier ones that I learned and that has just stuck with me over the years is money comes easily and frequently. That just rolls off my tongue. Money comes easily and frequently. I like that mantra. So I would like for you guys to maybe meditate about that. Maybe just close your eyes and say, what is my ideal mantra? What is the phrase that comes to me as I'm doing this sacred work, right? And just let it flow. Like I like to write these things. You might be a writer, you might be hearing it in your mind's ear, you might be seeing it in your mind's eye, you might be feeling it in your body. However you receive your guidance and information, that's personal. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Just allow it through and get it out. And then hopefully you would be comfortable enough to share that in the Facebook group. So those are your two homework assignments. Mantra or affirmation, your own personal one. And you can borrow, like I borrowed that from, I think that was Laurel Langminer, something like that. She's a money financial coach. Money comes easily and frequently. Borrow one, make one up, whatever works, and then share a vibe raiser with the rest of us so that we can have a plethora of things to do to raise our vibration during the rest of the week. Okay. All right. Any questions? Here we go. Oh, Eileen says bath. Yes. They need to make bathtubs bigger though. I'm like 5'10". Kristen, I'm curious what chakras are most associated with abundance. Is one more dominant? Good question, Kristen. You know, the first thing that just popped in my head was orange. So the orange to me is the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is about pleasure, joy, emotions, allowing, so that being moderate in all of that. So with manifesting, I would say the sacral chakra and knowing that our root is grounded, but our sacral is allowing, receiving, saying yes, it wants to play, treat me, let's do something extra. It's definitely not an egoic situation, so it's not a solar plexus situation. Throat chakra, most definitely for asking and receiving, but the sacral is the one that just really shines for me on that question. I'd like to know what you think. And then of course, the crown, the third eye, for the visualization parts and for the connecting and the prayers and the connecting with spirit, all of that. So we can utilize all of them basically, but the sacral I think is the main deal here. So perhaps I will put in a sacral chakra meditation in the group page. And then Eileen says, or swim. So yeah, more water. Yep. We love the water. And I learned a really interesting fact when I lived in Long Beach. I lived about 3 blocks away from the ocean. And I walked that beach probably every day. If I missed, that would be rare. I loved. I was just always drawn to the ocean. And so I got curious one day because I noticed that a lot of empaths and psychics and all kinds of people live by the beach or live by the water. So I'm like, what's the deal with that? And I did the water research from Masaru Emoto. That was an interesting one. But then I also learned that salt water itself contains negative ions that are super soothing and positive to the empath, and soothing our soul and soothing our energy. It's like, yep, boy, that sure did make sense. All right. So, unless you have more questions, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Um, and I'll see you over in the Facebook group. And I want to remind you that tomorrow we're going to talk about the biggest game changer in the manifestation game that hardly anybody talks about. I've never heard anybody else talk about this. And it's so ideal for the empath because we're natural at it. You're going to love it. So I will see you guys tomorrow here at 10 a.m. Feel free to ask questions in the group, on the group page. I'm collecting them so that I can do a Q&A later this week, just for fun. So take excellent care of yourselves. Keep your vibe high. Make those affirmations. Play. Have fun with all of this. There is nothing that you have to do, only that which you want. That's a good mantra. So, desire, enjoy, sacral chakra. Woo! Bring it all out and play. All right. I will see you in the group, and then I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. All right. Peace out.